Catalunya this week, guys. Here we have race 1 settings for us. Yeah, McLaren Gr3 for this one. Let's hop on board. This is yeah, Catalunya, no chicane. So getting that good run onto the main straight there. So as we're coming into turn 1 here, brake balance 0, and yeah, different to my normal lap guides. I do have race 1 conditions actually set, so there is a bit of wind for this one, so just be aware as it changes throughout the different race settings. But yeah, this little black light post on the left there is the braking indicator for turn 1. Using all the track, so you're drifting your car out, probably having the curb in the middle of your car. Hard on the brakes, opening up this corner, getting on the curb, skipping across. Don't need to take that much, it does kind of cause that little bit of a slide, you can see. If you don't feel confident there, just a little, probably quarter of a car, so with a bit more off onto the normal racing line. So a bit of a tricky corner this one. Seems easy, isn't? So you just want to have your, balancing the car, quarter half throttle. So keeping tight into this curb here. You'll see this, I start to get on throttle, that orange marker like dead set straight ahead now. That's kind of my indicator to go, oh, let's start increasing the throttle. If you start to understeer and know you go wide after a bit of practice, you'll know. Again, just ease off the throttle. But that's the point where you start to bring on the throttle to get the best exit. So see, I'm always using the maximum track limits here. So I'm using just B for the bridge. Hard on the brakes, angling it into the apex. Down the 1, and then back up to 2 to get the rotation going. Going out wide, using all the track there, following the traditional racing line. You'll see that no real brake marker here as such, but I get it back to the right and then it's almost essentially a brake straight away. So you probably could say maybe the end of the wall on the right there, that's just behind the tyre barrier. And down to first, get rotated, up to second at the apex. So halfway around the corner to get that extra rotation and get your foot down in second. Pretty good traction here. Coming down, so looking another tricky corner. Just before or just on the start of that white curbing on the right. Getting the car slow down, drop down a second, getting it tucked in before you get on too much throttle here. Careful not to try and cut this curb on the left, it will cause the car to slide, possibly lose control. And then track limits on this next corner, little kink bit. So bring it on throttle. So I'm right on the edge of track limits there, so the limits must be the basically the red and white curbing. Yeah, so just be aware there, don't push it too much. I'm right on the edge there as it is. Coming up, another tricky corner. You find just a little dab of the brakes. Helps get that load onto the front tyres. And then you'll be able to coast around. So coast for that little bit, then start bringing on the throttle. Again, one of those corners when you practice it, if you know you're going to go wide, just slightly off the throttle. Again, track limits, just try and get in the right spot. The curb, so no wider than that. Down here, so I'm using the end of this tyre barrier on the right here as my braking zone, or no later than 100 metre. So kind of in that little gap there, bed in the middle, and hard on the brakes here in a straight line, keeping it down, cracking down the first. Again, hitting second at the apex, get that rotation, and you can start to get that throttle fully down. Cut this corner, again, not too much, about there, otherwise you will get another track limits penalty. I'll go briefly down in the first here, and then back up in the second. Getting on that throttle, a little bit of a slide, it cost me maybe a tenth of a second there. You can, if you do start to get tyre wear there, crack it up to third a bit earlier as well. You won't lose much time. Second, so a bit of a tricky spot, kind of just before the end of the green curbing there. This is more of a just a off throttle. If you are running a bit wide, just a quick little dab of the brake, but off throttle, cutting it right in as much as you can there. So track the material of the curves again as well. So this one I'm using about the start of the yellow curbing, or about halfway on it. A little dab of the brakes, and then getting it into the apex. And I'm actually cracking fourth early so I can get the full throttle down, best traction out, and the rotation as well. And there you go, so 39.6. So it's a bit of a lot to take in. May have to watch it a couple of times. But yeah, good luck. Let's keep up the good work. I think 6 rounds left for the season. It's been a long time, but we're heading home strong, so that's good. Alright, I'll leave it to a no talking lap.